Hey, friend, and what's up? Welcome back to another video episode with your girl, TT, the real Tia, TT, Tia, whatever y'all want to call me, whatever makes you feel comfortable, okay? But before we get too deep into the video, of course, I want you guys to subscribe, like, and leave a comment, and support your girl, Click the notification bell so that whenever I post, you are here right with me on time. Okay, that's what we want. So before we get into today's discussion, I do want to, of course, say our affirmations. And today's affirmation will be, I am always focused on the positive and never focused on the negative. Once again, I am always focused on the positive and never focused on the negative. Now let's get right into it. So today's discussion will be on love languages, which I wanted to talk about because I feel like a lot of people really get a misconception when it comes to love languages. So we're first going to talk about the 5 different types of love languages that there are, the examples of them, and why love languages are so important to help you build healthier, meaningful connections. The first love language, which is my favorite, words of affirmation. Words of affirmation is compliments, expression of love, and words of encouragement. So an example would be telling your partner, a friend, or a family member how much you love them, how much you appreciate them, and how much you thank them for, just being there for you or for a specific thing. That is an example of words of affirmation. Number 2 would be act of services. And this is simply just doing a kind act for someone or someone doing a kind act for you. Simply like just doing a small gesture to make someone else's life a little more easier, which this is literally my second favorite love language, because one thing I love is anybody who's willing to make my life just a little more easier. I mean, because who doesn't need that? You know what I mean? An example will be cooking a meal or doing a chore, or, just asking you, hey, what do you have to do today? What are some things that I can offload for you that, you just really don't have time to do yourself? That would just be as simple as active services. Number 3 would be receiving gifts. This is simply buying your partner a gift or just anyone in your life, something thoughtful or something that you knew was of their interest. Number 4 would be quality time. And this is just simply spending time with your loved ones, spending time with your significant other, cutting out time specifically for that person, doing things that you guys both enjoy that help you just build a better bond through quality time. And last but not least, physical touch. So this is simply demonstrating your love through hugs and kisses and cuddling and maybe a massage, anything that is, physical, loving, touching, and all that good stuff. Okay, so I would love you guys to tell me, what is your most important love language? What is your love languages? I feel like all 5 are my love languages. I'm gonna put on the side in which order. In which order love languages I love from most to least. And I would love you guys to do the same. So, why is it important to know your partner's love language? Or not even your partner's love language, but maybe your friend or your family member, anyone that you care about, you have a connection with. Because a lot of times what we do is that we move out of a space of how we want to perceive love, and sometimes the way that you would want to perceive love is not the same way someone else would want to receive love. So you might think that you're doing something so great for a person, that you're doing them a service, but a lot of times you could be doing not only yourself, but that person as well a disservice by loving them in a way that only you would like to receive love. Which is why it's very important to talk to your people and say, hey, what are your love languages, and in which order, what is most important to you? You if you have a love language that is, gift giving, you like to receive gifts. So you constantly give gifts and give gifts and give gifts to a person who just simply loves words of affirmation, and you never affirm them, but you're just always gift giving, and you're thinking that you're loving that person. You have the greatest intent, but you're thinking that you're loving that person the way that they would want to be loved, and they're not. And really, they're perceiving it as they're not being loved at all. They're perceiving it as like, yeah, you care, but like, do you really care? Because that's not even really what I want. That they're going to take it as that's what you want, but that's not what I want. And I feel like a lot of times as humans, we have this tendency of moving with selfish intent without even realizing that we're moving with selfish intent. Okay, we might have the best intentions in the world, but I feel a lot of times we're so caught up in our own worlds, thinking about ourselves, we forget that people also live in their own worlds and have their own way of perceiving things. And so if you want two worlds to collide and coexist, you have to understand each other's worlds. Okay, that's why I even say I feel for men and women, or just anyone, to really coexist on this earth together, we have to get in the habit of intentionally trying to understand one another, so that we can have a better way of maneuvering around each other, our feelings, our thoughts, and the way that we perceive things. Okay, so it's very important, if you have a partner, a significant other, or anyone you have a connection with, and go, hey, what are your love languages? How would you like for one to tell you or to show you that they love you? You don't want to put yourself in a position where you're doing X, Y, and Z, and X, Y, and Z is not even what they want. You're wasting not only your time, but theirs. And it causes more problems to do any good, despite of what your intentions may be. So let's get into some ways on how to figure out what someone else's love language is. Well, for one, of course, would be to talk to them. Communication, right? Simply just asking them, like, hey, what is your love language? And even sometimes people don't even know that love languages is a thing. They don't even know that they have love languages, right? So that will be a conversation that you actually sit down and you have. You go, oh, if you don't even know what a love language is, everyone has them, but they might not understand the concept of what that is. You go, hey, let's sit down and talk. I'm going to read you these love languages, maybe even share this video with you. And we're going to sit down and figure out, what your love languages are, what is most important to you, what is least important. And, let's learn each other's love languages on how we're going to love each other moving forward. Another way, if you don't want to ask, I know some people could be a little shy, observe them. See how that person expresses their love. Like I said, a lot of times we express our love to people the way that we want love expressed to us. So you can simply even know what someone love language is by simply seeing what they do and how they try to love you, whether it's through physical touch, gift giving, words of affirmation, active services, all these different things. See what they do the most to you to show that they care, and that more than likely will be their love language. Another way to figure out someone's love language would be reflecting on their hobbies and interests. If you're dealing with somebody who really likes to invite you out places, and they love spending time together, and they like trying new things, their love language might be quality time, in addition to active services. They might feel like they're doing, you guys both a service by inviting you out places, giving you new experiences, in addition being able to spend quality time with you to actually build a bond. So that's how you know that their love language just might be quality time and active services. Last but not least would be listen to their complaints, and say, hey, you don't affirm me enough, or I want to spend more time with you, or why don't we go here? Why don't we go there? Right there, someone saying that you don't affirm me enough, you can tell that their love language is verbal affirmations. Someone telling you, hey, I want to spend more time with you, their love language more than likely will be quality time. See what that person is complaining about and longing for, and saying like, hey, this is what I need, this is what I want. More than likely, that is their love language, you know. And like I said, it's important to understand what someone's love language is, because if you really care about someone, you want to love them how they want to be loved. It's just that simple, right? Like if someone buys you a gift, you don't want to get something that you don't want, right? You want to get something that you're going to actually be able to enjoy. So you want to give somebody what they're actually going to be able to perceive, get and understand, and actually, you know, feel. You know, at the end of the day, you want someone to feel cared for. You want someone to feel like you love them. You want someone to feel connected to you. And everyone, like I said, lives in their own reality. They have their own perspective. So everyone has a different point of view of exactly what that looks like. And so it's very important to understand what that looks like for the next person. I hope this helps somebody out there as far as love languages and loving on your partner, building better and greater connections. And I love you guys. Make sure you subscribe, and I see you next time. Bye.